Hello, we are Sornia. We are here to guide you, maybe have a few laughs along the way, give you some encouragement, and to let you know that all is well. And we believe that you know all is well. These reminders are good, right? There's some repetition here, but the reminders are good. It benefits you to have that in the forefront of your mind and to hear it more often. What we've noticed is that, so there's some information to give back to you in terms of where you're going. We like to do that now. We like to share with you where we're seeing you're making progress, if you haven't already noticed that. It's important because you can lose sight of it or not know due to the fact that you are still working through the density, limiting beliefs and such of the physical form and its mental state. Remember, when we talk about the physical form, it's not just the organs of your body and the physical, it's also that mental state. It's the mind. The mind is very important to keep that in mind, if you will, as part of your physical third dimensional experience. You don't take the mind with you. You don't take the thoughts with you. You take the frequency of repetitive thoughts with you, meaning when you leave your physical form, you take those repetitive thoughts with you. And that is why it's important to know that, because do you want to take those repetitive thoughts? Do you want to take those, let's say, the frequencies of those repetitive thoughts? So the mind is just an interesting and not well understood aspect of your physical experience, but the mind is so powerful, but it is not powerful in and of itself. It is not separate from other elements that make up your physical form. We want to stress this because the mind is what is so prominent in everyone's experience on earth. So you feel that if you think something, then that's your truth, or you think something, you ponder things. And we're not saying that the mind does not have value. The mind and its thought process is integral to the entire experience. You need that. And again, of course, you need the mind. Some of you are going, well, of course, the mind keeps the heart pumping, the blood flowing, all of the subconscious experiences or subconscious, what would be the word, elements that keep a physical body alive are done from the mind, but not solely. See, not solely. So your physical form, it's all intricately woven together. We have always stressed, know your feelings, know your emotions, pay attention to them, really pay attention to them. But this is where it's going to shift. We spoke last time with you that you've reached the pinnacle of what you were looking to achieve. So now you're at that pinnacle. And again, you will see things, experience things, but you will again progress to another level of understanding. When we're talking about the mind, we want that when you're having an experience, it helps to close the eyes because it shuts out the external influences. If you can dull the sounds also, just for a moment, take time throughout the day. There are places you can go to have what you call sensory deprivation. You may have those where you live and you may not. You can create a sensory deprivation to a certain degree for yourselves. And that would be somehow blocking out sound and blocking out your visual. The visual is strong, but you also have your skin. Your skin is an organ of your body, and it's sensing. Everything is sensing and interacting with what is unseen. So to be completely lacking in any sort of stimulus while you are in physical form is nearly impossible, but you can tone it all down. And the way you can do that so that you can understand the function and the play between the emotional component of you, the heart, the solar plexus, because those two are really connected. With all of you here, your heart and solar plexus centers are connected really well, and that's really important. But to understand the play between that area and the mind, what the mind does, requires you to really reduce the amount of stimulus you have that is coming externally. And that's why, some form of sensory deprivation, whether it's something you do, you shut everything down, you go into a quiet place, not in nature even, because there's so much in nature that would distract you. You can do this in your own little environment. And even then, you still will have the influences, because everything that you have around you is giving off information, because everything is energy. So the light bulb in your room, the walls, the paint on your walls, it's all giving off frequency and vibration. Whether that paint has been on there for 100 years or recently, it all has memory. The walls absorb the energies of those individuals who inhabit and those that walk by. So in your home, you have someone may drive by your home and their energy may be very expansive. It's going to touch your home and it's going to be part of your experience. Now, does it stay stuck there? Are you always going to be have to be fearful about everything out there? No. We're just bringing this up to let you know to completely desensitize yourself from all stimulus is almost impossible. But you can create a situation, whether you find somewhere to go where you reduce the input to a minimal, or you create it within your own environment. This is what we want you to do. Should you so choose, we're suggesting it so that you can understand the next steps that you will be taking to understand the emotional, like the heart, the solar plexus area, the emotions that are contained there, because it's not just the heart that feels, the solar plexus feels. I mean, all of your energy centers feel in some way. They have sense to them, right? They are alive. So the purpose is to take those two centers of strong feeling that most of you are really understanding and aware of, and seeing and knowing and understanding how those centers function in conjunction with the mind. So what's the connection? How is it done? That's why we are suggesting you really take some time to 5 minutes, once a day, 5 minutes, if you can do it more, whatever is feasible and comfortable for you, to be still, but really remove as much of the quote unquote noise or stimulus that you can. You could put yourself in a darkened room. But remember, everything is still going to be giving off some sort of frequency, no matter what. But to do that so that you can sit and then you ask your own higher self, soul, essence, however you understand that, okay, show me how the heart, solar plexus, and mind connection work together. That's the first that you want to do. How does this work together? What is the pathway? How do thoughts get created? See, this is where we're going. How does a thought get created? Is it created through the feeling, or is it created through the thought already there? Where does this thought come in? The less you have that is distracting you from the third dimensional reality, and the more you are in that quiet place of minimal distraction, less sensory input, you'll be able to see or sense or feel where the origins of these thoughts are. Why is that important? Because your thoughts are what are the outcome of your creation, what are going to create your reality, right? Your thoughts create your life experience. But where did those thoughts originate? Many of you have said, I've been told that my emotions and I carry cellular memory, so it's just embedded in me, blah, blah, blah. All the different things you've been told. That might be true and it might not be true. You will benefit by going in by yourself to find out how it's done. This is a huge leap forward. That's why we told you, you've done so much to separate yourselves from the entanglements of the third dimensional reality. You still are, and you know that that's just part of it. But most of you are able to see what is the illusion. So you already are in that place. Now, how great this is going to be that you will be able to understand the workings of your own method of creating. There are similarities. There are ways that are universal to everyone. In order for you to understand it, you must experience it. You must go in with your own abilities to understand it, to go through those layers, if you will, of existence outside of your physical form, as well as your physical form, and find where the origins of your limiting beliefs are. How did that happen? Did you pick it up just by going through life? Did you bring it in with you? Have you been dragging it around? You can't free yourself from incarnating because you keep dragging around the same limiting beliefs. We don't know. Each one of you has what you have done to create your current circumstances, your current reality. And because so many of you who are what we call light workers that hear these messages are dealing with physical setbacks, the emotional, and some of you are truly blessed with feeling both the physical and the emotional at the same time, very deeply. And the point of it is to make it so aware to you. You've decided that. Let's make it really aware. Let's make it really strong so that we can't ignore it. It can't be set aside. We can't push it under the rug. That's what you've decided. And again, what you are doing so far and will continue to do if you follow this guidance will free you completely from this experience that you call third dimensional reality. There is no reason why you need to suffer in any form anywhere. Yes, there are experiences and they help you grow, but it is not the only way of growing. So you're not at that point, anyone yet, to understand how, say, tension and difficulties create contrast for growth. You want that contrast, in a sense, for growth. But you tend to, through your beliefs, label it as bad, and then you attach a negative emotion to it. So I had this bad experience. I am suffering from cancer, and therefore it's bad. And therefore I have negative feelings attached to it. And cancer is a very good example to use for the physical form because it is a mystery. Why do some abuse their bodies but live to be old? Maybe not in perfect health, but they live. And others don't abuse their bodies and they feed their bodies the nutrients and they exercise and they do all of that. And then they die of multiple types of disease, cancer included, or they get it or they fight that. Why? Why? This is what you're looking to explore and to understand. Those of you in particular who have taken on the physical, but also those who have taken on the emotional, because they all go together. So it's a time right now that you're ready for, that you've prepared yourself for, and you're going to go even deeper. So when you look and you feel, say again, cancer, the word cancer instills fear in so many. And that was created, that began a long time ago with the media and the various forms that want you to feel afraid, right? We've talked about that for many, many times. So what you want to do is, this is where you're going to start. We will come forward with some meditations for you, not just yet, because we want you to do the initial steps of what we talked about. How would you say it? It's more than just sitting quietly. You really want to, in your way that you can, remove as much of the sensory input that you are getting. How you're going to do that, you'll figure it out. There isn't one way of doing this, but then your awareness is on your physical form. We want you to be aware of your physical form when you go into this process. You've been understanding your chakras, the root chakra, sacral, solar plexus, the heart, all of them. You understand them. They're there. They are your energy system. So what you are going to do is go into that, what you already understand, and expound on it and expand it. And each one of you will do it in your own way. You can share your insights with others, share it with us when you come to visit us at night, but do this. This is the first step in this next process that we are offering to you to lead you towards freeing yourself and arriving where it is that you want to with your consciousness. So it's an exciting time. You deserve this, and none of you have been harmed or held back by what you have done. In fact, what we see is more of you are understanding the value of what you have taught yourself and what you have done for yourself. And you're excited to share with others. But you're still, for quite a while yet, working on self, not so much in the outer world. Events in the outer world have to unfold, however they're going to unfold. We know that there will be a lot of upsetting events for people. There already have been. And what's amazing and beautiful is that we look at all of you and you're all just shaking your heads going, okay, bring it on. You're ready for it. You're not afraid of what you're seeing as being tragic or threatening or any of that. You're looking at it going, okay, all right. Let me get grounded. Let me get centered. It's so wonderful. So that you are unified in that intention, whether you know it or not. We see the unity. You may not know the other individuals by physical appearance. You know them at the soul level, and the circle of individual souls that are uniting doing this is so much greater than it ever has been. It's worldwide, and it's truly amazing. And we want to give you this feedback. We will tell you when things are stuck. We will tell you if you are not getting the right idea. But because we don't see that, we don't share that with you. What we see here is how well you have all communicated with each other telepathically or energetically. Some of you know, without knowing the person or people, know that you are connected to others on this planet because you've been feeling it. That's also a consequence of you raising your awareness to where it is. You start to feel a connection to someone and okay, I feel like there's somebody like me. Go for it, deepen it. You're going to be able to, in time, feel someone you have never met that may live on the other side of the planet. You're going to be able to tell that person hello and have communication with them. It's getting to that point. So some of you are already doing it, but it's confusing for you because you're not sure what that is. Stay open, because this should be one of the outcomes of what is this evolution that you are going through, that some person living in a remote island who thinks and feels like you and understands and sends out, just like the whales do in your world, send out messages, right? They send out a sound, they send out a frequency, a tone. You'll also receive that and you go, oh, and you'll be able to identify this other soul, and this will increase. You're not quite there yet. Like we said, there are some that are doing it already, but they're not sure what is happening, and this is something that's down the road. So just a little something for you to look forward to. And because it might start to increase because of what you will be doing in the coming weeks with this practice here, we wanted to give you the heads up. So ultimately, what are we saying is take this next step. Make yourselves, what's the word? Well, dedicate yourselves to this. Share what you can with others, but remember, it is still about you focusing on you and bringing your own essence out more so that you can understand ultimately how you are creating. It's been a long and arduous process so far. So you're going there. You'll be able to know it, feel it, but you can't do it with just the mind. You can't go read a book or watch somebody else do it. Maybe some of you can. Very rare. What needs to be done is that you need to take the time to go within and reduce the stimulus and begin there. You'll see this has to be the first step. As we said, we'll come forward with practices and meditations to assist you, because this is a process that may take you some time to fully understand. And we give you little bits as we move along. So hopefully this helped you. It's a wonderful time. It's really a wonderful time. And things are not bleak. They aren't dark. They're beautifully, wonderfully open and thriving, and there's joy and so much that's already there that so many of you are expressing through your interactions with each other or through your own thoughts already. So many of you have really understood how your thoughts have been so negative, and you've decided, now, time to really address this. And that's why we know that you're ready for this next step. So that's all we have for you right now. Feel free to reach out to us with questions, whether through the physical way or through your nightly excursions to meet up with us, because this is a very important next step for all of you. So we love you very much. We're very excited about the coming time. We are Sornia. Goodbye.